Stellantis has just made its most power-dense engine almost ever. It is the new Jeep Hurricane 4-cylinder that is going to go in the Grand Cherokee of all things. It makes 325 horsepower from just 2 liters, and it has a whole bunch of technology that makes it super insane. It's more power dense than every Dodge V8 ever, including the Demon. It is completely insane as an engine, and we're going to go over it today in this video. You know, the thing is, it's hard to come by cool internal combustion engines these days because it's mostly down to the really expensive stuff. Lamborghini Temerario with its insane 10,000 RPM V8, or with the Bugatti Tourbillon with its basically 10,000 RPM V16 as well. But those are basically unobtainium, and it's pretty hard to find a neat motor. But there's a bunch of key technologies that we spoke to the chief engineer of the entire engine about. So let's start with the headline tech. It is called turbulent jet ignition, which is basically a pre-combustion chamber in the cylinder head at the very top that helps mixes the fuel a little better. It's actually derived from Formula One, and it's a pretty neat tech because what it does is help the engine extract the most amount of energy out of that fuel it possibly can by mixing it together in a really dense way. And here's the thing, the Jeep engine runs off the Miller cycle, which is a special kind of intake valve timing that keeps the intake valve open longer on the compression stroke. That's the main secret to the huge power density of the Hurricane, which is about 162 horsepower per liter for a total of 325 horsepower. Pretty serious. Then it gets even neater because there's other technologies built around making this engine super good. So there is also a variable geometry turbo, which some of you nerds in the crowd might have heard of from maybe 2012 with a 911 GT2 RS back then. That was a car that had VGTs, and so did the 911 turbo of the era. Point being is the VGT also controls turbine speed, kind of like a wastegate does, except in transient situations. So it can just light it up quicker and spool it down quicker. That VGT paired with TJI really makes the Hurricane 4 super responsive and super crazy.
Initial targets were really determined based on what we can do on today's 2-liter turbo, what are the opportunities to close the gap over V6, and then we said if we are offering an engine with fewer cylinders compared to V6, it cannot be just enough. We cannot say if today's V6 makes 293 horsepower, they'll give you 1 more horsepower. So we said it has to offer substantially better performance and fuel economy.
And that's the main thing the engineers of the Hurricane really wanted to drill into my head was efficiency. And it wasn't just fuel efficiency, but actual combustion efficiency. Basically, most energy from a combustion engine is wasted in heat or friction or pumping losses, and mostly exhaust heat. All that exhaust heat is actually wasted energy from internal combustion. That's why you have the VGT, because maximizing that inefficiency returns that energy to the engine and pretty much helps itself work better. And even then, there's still a lot of cool stuff left over from this engine that I'm going to go over. Jeep chose an electric cam phaser for auto stop start smoothness. It helps them run the engine more efficiently when they need to, keep those intake valves open longer on a compression stroke, or close them up more for power. It kind of lets them sort of pseudo cycle around on what they need.
So once we set our original targets, now the other side of the question was, first thing, how will we achieve those targets? So which technologies we would use? Could we use things that today's Hurricane 6 uses? Okay, but there are some limitations in terms of you can hit power, but fuel consumption, how do you manage it? And same thing on the durability side, what are the things that we can do from today's engine? And then also taking advantage of all the improvement.
Then looking around the motor, there's a lot of neat details all over the place. There is also the block design and the kind of the way the block is made. So when you look at the engine, you see where the crankshaft center line is, basically where the crank is in the block. Any part below that is a block skirt, which is a surprisingly huge contributor to block strength. That underneath helps it stop from flexing under huge power loads, keeps the crank in place. There is also a sort of bed plate construction and like a girdle in there that holds the crank in, which makes the block super rigid. And just looking at the block, it looks a lot like modern BMW engines, which are super subtractive in their design, a lot of webbing, a lot of attention to weight, but strength exactly where it needs it. And you can see that in the Jeep Hurricane too.
We did this engine ground up knowing that this engine would be exposed to these higher pressures and temperatures. So everything on the engine, from you guys saw the deep skirt single piece die cast block design with 24% thicker bore wall thickness to handle the top end durability. On the bottom side, everything on the block, to the oil pan, to windage tray, everything is structural to make sure that our bottom side of the engine can handle all the durability. We upsized all the crank main bearings, rod bearings, to a very stiffer crank.
There's also the water air intercooler, which is pretty standard in this day and age, but it looks relatively small from what I'm used to if you look at a lot of other engines. And it's because Jeep says a lot of the cooling happens up front where the radiator and that stack is. So pretty neat stuff.
It wasn't just about these pieces looked at, when you look at them individually. Yes, TGI is phenomenal. It's a game changer for us. But how do you do the systems integration where all these technologies work in harmony? So when a customer is, keys on the car in the morning, starts driving, you start the vehicle with port fuel injection, then you transition over to DI or a blend between port fuel or DI. Again, the combustion starts with what we call the main chamber plugs, and then there's a transition to the TGI pre-chamber plug, and then VGT between when the variable geometry turbocharger is open or when it closes, all the cam settings using electric cam phaser. That's a big ass DOE to refine it to make sure that under all conditions, when it's cold outside, when it's hot outside, higher loading, lower load, completely satisfaction that we received from this program was to get to the systems integration done right, where we can take advantage of the degrees of freedom without creating issues for the end customer, where they would realize that yes, just now something happened on the engine. It moved from one actuator to another actuator. It's completely transparent for the end customer.
Overall, the Hurricane 4 is a pretty surprising thing to see in this day and age. It is a completely maximally developed internal combustion engine that is super sick, makes almost as much power as anything else on the market, but then it goes into a Jeep Cherokee, a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And we asked them, is this going to go anywhere else? And we got the classic answer of, we can't comment on product right now.
Today, we can only talk about Grand Cherokee, so can't really talk about any future products.
So I'm hoping maybe one day we can see a crate engine like they did with the Hurricane 6 and all their V8s, and maybe we see how gnarly this thing can get in a party setup. But for now, that was everything on the Hurricane 4-cylinder. Hope you enjoyed watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and stick around for more Motor One stuff.